Welcome to Call Me Didi, everyone. I'm your host, Diva.
And I'm your host, Sanchi, and let's get into today's episode. And of course, before we start, we have to do our highlight of the week. So, Diva, do you want to go?
Well, for me, my highlight was getting my nose ring this week. I also changed my hair color this week, and I just broke my glasses right before this episode. So that's also changed.
We have a video of it which we are going to put on story, so have a look. I'll add it in the highlights if you missed it.
Yeah, sure. But I'm looking like a whole new person. And that's fine. But no, getting my nose ring was definitely a highlight. Like I was thinking about it for a while, and then I was in the office and I was like, should I not? And then my friends at work were like, just do it. And I was like, yeah, whatever, fine. I'll just do it. It's fine. And I just went and got it. I don't know how I feel about it yet. But
Really? Multiple times I've heard this lady say,
You called me a lady.
oh my god, I look so cute. I'm in the other room doing my own work and she's in her room dressing up and she'll be like, oh my god, I look so cute. Oh, cute. And then I'll be laughing in my room like, what? And now she's like, oh, I don't know how
I'll
I
tell
feel
you
about
why.
it.
Okay, no. Like, I'm getting used to it still. But, so this is the thought I had, okay? And I've actually spoken to a lot of people about it. I was scared that getting the nose ring is going to make me look more Indian. So, okay, I'm going to explain the look you gave me.
Yeah, because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, is looking Indian bad?
That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. But when we're working in Australian or any international culture, you try and assimilate yourself as much as you can, and you do it mostly subconsciously. Like people change their accent, you change the way you dress, you try and look a bit more polished, and that's just so normal because you want to fit in. So you do these things, right? So when you do things which make you look more Indian, it's just gonna make you stand out a little bit more. But I had to reframe that and be like, no, like I love my culture, I love who I am, I'm so proud of it, and I love this. Like, yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah.
Nice.
So that was my thought process behind it.
I like it. I like
But
how
I
you...
am a cutie, and nobody can take that away from me.
I love that. I love it. And I also love how spontaneous you have just been as a human being now.
Lately, right?
I love it.
Yeah, very spontaneous.
Like booking flights.
Okay, another thought I had. I think a lot. Another thought I had was, this is what being an adult is really like. Like, you want to book a flight? Do it. You want to get a nose piercing? Do it. Who's going to say no?
No one.
Nobody can say no to you. It's your money.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're financially independent and you're making decisions for yourself, you can do whatever the hell you want.
That's right. When I was like in 12th, when there's like farewell, there was this question that 10 people who were selected to be the, what do you call, like, farewell queen or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. 10 people were selected and they were asked this question. Out of the 3 age groups, childhood, teenage, or young adult, which one would you choose if you had to choose like one of them? All of them said that they want to go back to their childhood and be that carefree self where they don't have to think about anything. But in my head, I was thinking, if I was there and I had to give the answer, I would say that I want to be in my young adult time. And even though I agree that it's a really hard time, you have a lot on, you have so many responsibilities and everything, but I think this is the time when you can fully be independent, you can take your own decisions, you can choose to do whatever you want to do with your life. So you live it according to how you want to live, and it's in your hands. I would never want anyone to take that away from me.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
I 100% agree, because especially your mid-20s, like early 20s was shit for me for different reasons, but mid-20s for me have been so good because you're wiser as a person, you make some more wiser decisions, you have money and you can do things with it, and then it's up to you what you want to do, really, right? 30s are also good, but in my head I'm like, 30s, most people start having kids, then you're responsible for more than just yourself, and the responsibilities build up. But this time you can test new things, you can try new careers if you want to, you can travel a little bit more because you're not really stuck to anybody, or you don't really have, for most people, I don't want to generalize, but most people,
I agree. Love the 20s, although they are hard.
They are hard, and that's why we're here.
Anyways, we should move on
To your highlight of the week.
My highlight of the week was meeting my friend in the city. And I remember my day was really, really shit because I was super tired. I was on my second day of my menstrual cycle. And it was just, I survived that day so hard. I cannot even tell. And after my work, I just really just wanted to go home. And that's all I wanted to do. But I had made plans. And so I was like, it's okay, I'll meet her. But I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god, you know, some people just recharge you when you meet them.
Yeah.
And she's one of them.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that I met her like only for the second time in person. Like properly like sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, and the first time also we met like 3-4 hours went by and we didn't even realize.
Yeah.
And this time as well, like 3-4 hours passed by, we didn't even realize. We talk about everything. It's such a comforting and amazing conversation. It's just so wholesome.
I love that.
Yeah, so it was just meeting her.
That's what, like, you know, those truly special friendships where it just doesn't feel like effort. Like it just flows and you don't feel like you're giving away energy. Those are the kind of friends you should, you know, reserve and keep.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Anyway, I think we should move on because it's been a very long time we've been talking about the highlights.
So what are we talking about today?
We are talking about dating in a digital age. I'm very excited about this topic because it's something that everybody struggles given how it's changed now.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
I don't.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, by digital age, we mean dating using dating apps.
Yeah.
And I've had my fair share of experiences using dating apps. I found that, you know, in my relationships that I've had, the ones that I've met, the people I've met, which have not been from dating apps, have been the more successful relationships, I will say. I mean, they're not there now, but they've just been, I guess, a bit more wholesome. And I can't really describe it, but I feel like I just know the person better if I know them from before. So usually the way I would meet, you know, partners in the past would be through friends or friends of friends. You just meet them in a mutual setting somewhere and you somehow click and then you start talking and you obviously have an attraction to each other. But the people that I have dated through dating apps, it just feels like I felt a little bit more friction in that because you have to like consciously sit down, get to know them, you know, meet them multiple times, decide if you like them. That's just been my experience.
That's actually very interesting because for me, it's very similar as well. Like, I've not had a lot of experiences in relationships in the past. I've been single a lot. But my very first relationship was also like met in uni, clicked and dated.
Yeah.
And I think that the relationship was wholesome. I really liked being in that relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was good. And after that, the dating through apps has been very interesting actually, because I don't like it at all. There's something about it. It just pisses me off how just annoying apps are.
I think because you've had like a bad experience from it. Not going into too many details on that, but you know, you've met some interesting men. I don't even want to call them men. Anyway.
Okay. Anyways, we are gonna move on. What I mean though is that I always used apps very like for fun, you know. I would download apps when I was bored. Like I never took them seriously. I would always download them because I was bored and I wanted to like just swipe, and then I would delete them in like a week or two. Never took them seriously. Met a few people through it. One of them is a really good friend of mine now. But it's just, I don't know, like I never took it seriously and I don't want to. I would never want to meet someone on the apps. Sorry, I'm being very rude, but no.
Like, not being rude, you're just removing a whole pool of people for yourself.
I don't care. Like, I don't have time to be on the apps. I feel like I want to meet someone who's like-minded, like who's also busy in their life. They don't have time to download the apps and swipe on the apps. Like, I would want to meet someone naturally, like on the street, in like a club, not a club, but a run club, like something that's where it's interesting, like on a hike or a social hike, on an event where you're actually like talking to people in real life.
Yeah, I agree. I have found that with the apps, I've just seen so many low effort men. Like, I've seen men who don't even put effort into their dating profile. They'll have like one answer there, and I'm just like, you're so boring on the app. Like, you want me to get to know you, but you couldn't even put the effort to actually making a nice profile. And then the other side of that is like, there's so many guys that I know, like my friends, for example, who are great personalities, and then I go look at their dating profiles and they're so average, and I'm just like you can do better than this. But then it makes me think that there's so many men with a bad dating profile who actually could be fun in person.
Interesting.
But I just swipe left on them because to me it's about effort. You didn't put effort here. How would I know that you're nicer to hang out with?
That's right.
And yeah, like same. I would so much prefer meeting somebody in person. Something about it now, like you look into each other's eyes and then you know there's something there and then you want to pursue it.
I agree.
Like you get nervous because you know that you like this person. You've developed an in-person crush and then your words don't come out right.
I know. I also feel like it'll be a great story to meet someone in person. Like, imagine, like, you get married to someone, okay? And then someone asks you, okay, give me a love story. And you'll be like, oh, we met on Hinge. Like, what? Like, that's not a fun story. So I want to tell a story that, oh, you know what? I was just sitting there and then he just came and then our eyes met and oh, it was just that. I don't know. It's a movie. I don't know if it exists. But the point is that I don't want to tell that we met on
Don't
the
jinx
app.
it for yourself, okay? You never know how you meet this person because truth be told, so many people do meet their partners on dating apps and who are in happy relationships. It's just not been our experience. But there are people who actually meet nice people on apps.
I've never met these people.
I have, okay? I have.
Really?
Yeah, so many of our friends, I'll tell you about it later, but they've met people through apps.
Oh yeah, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't like the apps and I'm not going to be on the apps.
Then why don't you give our beautiful listeners some advice on how to meet people if not on the apps? Because right now, everybody who's interested in dating is on the apps.
That's right. In Australia, I came to know about this really cool app called... Very funny, I'm calling it an app. But...
Hypocrite.
Sorry, but it's like hump day app, something like that. And I've never used it because it's only in Sydney and Melbourne for now. But I think they do like in real life events where you go and meet people and that they're all kind of like looking for people to date. So you're in a setting where everyone is trying to date and then you meet people. So it's that like changing the norm of swiping and they're actually organizing events in person to meet people. I think that's great.
That's great. I agree. I feel like there's a general trend now towards meeting people offline. Like I'm seeing it more and more. Like now run clubs are a thing and run clubs are apparently the new dating apps is what I'm hearing, where people just like very few people actually run is what I'm hearing. I haven't been to one. But like you just walk and I love that. Like you're doing an activity together. You can tell that this person actually enjoys movement and like cares about their health and you go meet them there. I think that's so cool.
I agree. I think the event that we organized was also a great idea to like meet people.
Even though the intention was not, like it was not a dating event, but you can just come. The idea is make friends first, right? The Hindi phrase, pyar dosti hai, which means love is friendship. So, like to me, I want to be friends with the person first.
I agree. Totally agree with that.
So any opportunity that allows you to do that, or some ways I like to meet people is your friends of friends who introduce you, because then you know that your friends have sort of vetted this person out.
That's right.
In some way, even if they don't know them well, they know them well enough to hang out with them. So yeah, even that is a good way.
That's right. And something that I do is like I'm a very spontaneous person in the sense that if somebody asks me to meet in terms of like on LinkedIn or on Instagram and I feel like they're not creepy people, I would say yes. Like if I feel like, okay, I have time, I can meet new people, then I would be like, okay, let's go for a coffee or let's go for a walk, and I would be happy to meet people. And it's like neutral gender, like it can be men or women or whoever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like I'm meeting someone next week and like a common friend was like, oh, you two will be great friends, and I was like, sure, and we're going to eat pizza on Wednesday now.
Yeah.
And it's just, I met someone who messaged us on podcast Instagram long time back, and he was like, oh, I love your episodes, would love to like meet you sometime. And Diva was not here at the time. I was like, sure. And we went to like beach, and it was so nice to meet him, and now he's a great friend and he came to the event as well. But the point is that saying more yeses to like meeting new people.
Or even, making the effort to meet other people.
Yeah.
Just reaching out and be like, hey, do you want to hang out? And like the intention doesn't have to be dating. It can just be like, hey, do you want to hang out and be friends?
Yeah.
Because you never know through who you meet people and they have friends. Then it'll just click one day. That's what I'm hoping.
I agree with that.
But I just want to say, for a lot of people, dating apps do work. So I think that with the dating app, I find Hinge to be better than other dating apps, like, than Bumble and Tinder and stuff. Tinder is a big no, but in Hinge, it's got prompts that you actually have to answer.
I agree.
And it'll tell you something about their personality. Well, hopefully, if the man can make some effort. But like, it'll give you some idea, acha, this guy, does this or whatever, which is like, I'd rather use that than the other apps if I have to choose. And people do meet guys on apps, so let us not discourage you. I mean, it's really your call. It's not worked for us. But you never know, it may work for you is all I'm saying.
You know what, now, because that we create content in Adelaide, and that some of our reels has went viral as well, it's just, I don't want to be on the apps after this, because I feel like Adelaide is so small and everyone can recognize the faces. Like, it would be so weird to make a profile and people already like kind of know you.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't want to be on the app after that.
Yeah, fair. But that's unique to us.
That's true. But saying that, I also believe that I like to make friends or meet people like naturally rather than like forcing it through apps. My personal opinion. I'm sorry I'm being so rude to the apps, but that's true.
It's okay. They don't have feelings.
The point is that I believe that whenever the time is right for me, it'll come to me. And I genuinely believe that. And so I've decided to like put 2024 the year for me and like be a high value woman and work on myself and be that person that I attract that kind of people in my life, and it will happen for me. I know it will happen for me. So I don't have to go on the apps. I just have to go out and meet new friends, meet new people.
Just on the street.
Just out on the street.
Just there in the park.
Anyway,
we hope you enjoyed this episode. I really did. And I think a lot of people will relate to it as well.
I hope like we added value.
Yeah.
And encouraged you to go out and meet new people.
Get off the apps, guys. It's time to go to run clubs.
Anyway, with that, I think we are going to finish this episode. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and take a screenshot, put it on your story, share it, because it genuinely helps us grow and it might help someone else as well.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
see you in the next one.
bye.